There's a moment every man knows. You see her. She laughs, moves, speaks, and suddenly she's the only one in the room. But no matter what you try, she doesn't feel the same. And it kills you a little, doesn't it? Let me be blunt. If you're waiting for her to notice you, you've already lost. Attraction isn't some cosmic accident. It's not about fate. And it's sure as hell not about luck. It's about understanding how women fall in love and using that knowledge to become unforgettable. The truth? Most guys are trying to win a woman's heart by doing what feels right. They're being nice, texting back fast, complimenting her, proving they're not like the other guys. But if that worked, you wouldn't be watching this right now, would you? This video isn't about tricks to manipulate her. It's about transformation. You're going to learn 5 specific moves that flip a switch in her brain. Subtle psychological triggers that create emotional heat. The kind that makes her think about you when you're not even around. These aren't cheap tactics. They're the quiet behaviors of men who know exactly what they're doing. And once you start using them, she won't just notice you. She'll start chasing you. So if you've ever been the guy she almost liked, the one she vented to about other men, this is your shot to rewrite that story. Stick around, because I'm about to show you how to stop being an option and start being the one. Let's kill the biggest myth right now. Women only want the tall, ripped, rich guy. False. Yes, physical attraction matters, but what really keeps a woman coming back? Emotional intelligence. It's the one thing most men completely overlook, and yet it's your most powerful weapon. Here's what emotional intelligence actually means. It's not about being sensitive or overly emotional. It's about reading her, being aware of what she's feeling, even when she's not saying it, and responding in a way that makes her feel seen, safe, and understood. Most guys bulldoze their way through conversations, focused on what they want to say. The emotionally intelligent man listens between the lines. He notices the shift in her tone when she talks about her day. He catches the hesitation in her voice when she says she's fine. He doesn't push. He leans in, calmly, curiously. And here's the twist. Women expect most men to ignore those signs. When you're the one who notices, you stand out. You go from being a guy she talks to a guy she trusts. And trust, that's the gateway to emotional attraction. Once she feels that emotional safety with you, her walls come down fast. Want to test this? Next time you're talking to her, ask her how she felt about something instead of what happened. Pay attention to her eyes, her body language, her silence. Then validate it. Say something like, "That sounds like it really threw you off," or "I get why that would bother you." You're not solving anything. You're just making her feel understood. That alone, game changer. Before we continue with the video and my further explanation about the problems with men chasing attraction instead of connection, I'd like to ask for your help. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and support me. Okay, let's continue. Attraction might open the door, but trust is what keeps her from walking out. Most guys focus on the spark, the chemistry, the butterflies, but here's the harsh truth. Without trust, those butterflies die fast. She's not looking for someone who only excites her. She's looking for someone who feels solid, dependable, real. Here's the difference. Attraction is about how you make her feel in the moment. Trust is about how you make her feel over time. Can she count on you? Are you consistent, or are you just charming when it's convenient? You don't build trust with big gestures. You build it in the small moments. It's answering her message when you said you would. It's remembering that thing she casually mentioned a week ago and bringing it up later. It's showing up, especially when it's inconvenient. That's when she notices. Women are constantly evaluating if they're safe emotionally, if they can be vulnerable without regretting it. So when you prove, again and again, that you're not going to flake, disappear, or turn cold when things get real, that's when she stops questioning you. That's when she starts believing in you. Now let's flip it. What breaks trust? Inconsistency. Saying one thing and doing another. Being overly eager, then ghosting. Acting like she's the only one, while leaving a trail of mixed signals. You can be the most attractive guy in the room, but once your behavior doesn't match your words, game over. One of the strongest moves a man can make? Predictability. Not in a boring way, but in a way that lets her relax. You're not just exciting, you're safe. And when a woman feels safe with you, that's when real love starts to grow. Confidence makes her look twice. Cockiness makes her walk away. Let's clear this up. Confidence isn't loud. It's not about flexing your money, bragging about your achievements, or dominating every conversation. Real confidence is quiet. It's the way you carry yourself when nobody's watching. It's knowing your worth without needing to announce it every 5 seconds. Women can spot fake confidence a mile away. When a guy constantly tries to impress, name drop, or show off, She knows he's compensating. That kind of energy doesn't attract her. It exhausts her. What actually draws her in? Calm certainty. A man who doesn't need approval because he already knows who he is. Here's what that looks like in practice. You're not afraid of silence. You can say no without flinching. You make decisions without constantly checking if she approves. You don't panic if she's not replying right away because you're not seeking validation, you're offering value. Confidence also means being comfortable with vulnerability. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who can own his flaws without making them a punchline. That guy has real power. He's not pretending to be perfect. He's showing her he's human and strong enough to admit it. Now let's talk body language. Posture matters. Eye contact matters. Speaking with clarity instead of mumbling or trailing off. Huge. The way you physically take up space, shoulders back, chin up, signals confidence long before you say a word. You want to destroy any hint of cockiness? Show respect. Listen more than you speak. Compliment her, not just for her looks, but for her mind, her ideas, her grit. Cocky guys compete with women. Confident men connect with them. The ultimate flex, being totally okay whether she chooses you or not. Because confidence isn't about trying to be the best man in the room. It's about knowing you're already enough. Predictability is comforting, but too much of it kills excitement. If you want her to fall hard, you need to ignite something deeper than attraction. You need to trigger curiosity, that what's he going to do next? Feeling that keeps her mind spinning even after you've left the room. You don't need to be a daredevil or world traveler, you just need to bring a sense of adventure into your connection. Women are drawn to emotion-rich experiences, and if she associates you with excitement, you'll become the highlight of her day. Start with unpredictability in the right way, not flakiness, not mind games, but small, intentional surprises. Try a spontaneous plan instead of the usual dinner date. Share a random personal story that's vulnerable or funny. Suggest doing something you've never done before, like going to a quirky event, exploring a new part of town, or even just trying weird snacks together. Why does this work? Because novelty creates emotional spikes. The human brain releases dopamine when we experience something new and engaging. If she feels that spark around you often enough, she starts connecting you with that thrill. It also gives her a reason to think about you when you're not around. Boring guys are forgettable, but the guy who takes her on a rooftop to watch the city lights, the guy who dances in the street at midnight just because the vibe was right. She remembers him. He's different. He's magnetic. And don't forget the element of mystery. You don't need to spill your entire life story on date 2. Leave room for her to wonder. Be open, but don't reveal everything at once. Curiosity drives connection. It makes her want to know more, dig deeper, feel more. Bottom line, if you can make her feel alive, curious and excited when she's with you, you're not just another guy, you're an experience. Attraction might start with chemistry, but long-term connection, that's all about alignment. If she's ambitious, driven, passionate about something, and you're just floating through life with no goals, that spark dies quickly. Women are deeply drawn to men who reflect their core values, not just common interests like music or food, but what actually matters to them on a soul level. Think about it. If she values honesty and you joke about lying to your boss, she notices. If she's driven to build a future and you talk about just seeing where life goes, that disconnect is loud. Women aren't just looking for a good time. They're looking for someone who gets their mission. This doesn't mean you have to pretend to be someone you're not. It means you need to know who you are and be clear on what you believe in. If she's big on family, and so are you, let her see it. If she's career-focused and you're grinding for your own vision, talk about it. Alignment builds emotional depth. It tells her, we could build something real. It also builds admiration. When she sees that your actions match your words, that your path has direction, that you live by principles, she doesn't just like you, she respects you. And respect, that's the foundation of love. Mirroring values doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says. It's about finding overlap in your core. If you both believe in growth, honesty, kindness, or ambition, lean into that. Highlight it. Let her feel that shared rhythm.
When a woman senses that your futures could move in sync, she starts imagining you in her future. This trick flies under the radar, but it's one of the most powerful, because while physical attraction catches her eye, shared values keep her heart. Let's rewind for a second. We've talked about emotional intelligence, building trust, owning quiet confidence, creating moments of adventure, and aligning with her core values. These aren't gimmicks. These are the habits of men who don't just get the girl. They keep her attention, respect, and love. But here's the twist. All 5 of these tricks only work if you're consistent. That's where most guys fail. They do one thing right, maybe 2, and then drop the ball. Love isn't a single grand gesture. It's the accumulation of small, meaningful actions over time. It's texting her not because you should, but because you want to hear her voice. It's being there when it's uncomfortable. It's choosing presence over perfection. Most guys are reactive. They only step up when they think they're losing her. But the men who really win, they lead with intention before there's a problem. They don't just say, "I care." They show it in ways that feel safe, exciting, and grounded. And trust me, she can tell the difference. If you're serious about standing out from the crowd, you need to embody these 5 tricks like second nature. Not to perform, not to manipulate, but because they reflect who you're becoming. A man with depth, with purpose, with presence. Someone she can rely on, someone she can respect. Here's what I want you to take away. If you see her as someone special, then show up like a man who knows how to treat someone special. Don't just say the right things. Live them. Show her that being around you isn't a performance, it's peace. Now, before you go, I'd love to ask for your help. I'm working toward hitting 1,000 subscribers here, and if this video gave you even a single aha moment, I'd truly appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. Every sub pushes this mission forward and lets me keep giving you content that actually matters. Thank you for watching all the way through. That already tells me you're different. You care, you're curious, and you're ready to level up in how you show up for women and for yourself. And I've got a question for you. Which of the 5 tricks are you most excited to try? Or have you already used one with surprising results? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and your insight could help someone else out too. Until next time, be intentional, be grounded, and keep learning how to lead with your heart.